Nigga, I told you, nigga. I told you, nigga. Until the day end, nigga, you can always on me, pussy.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about, one of South Florida's very own. You guys know one of the things that's near and dear to my heart is the South Florida boxing scene. Truth be told, I've been so caught up covering, just like the mainstream part of boxing that I really feel like this is a part of my channel that has been a little bit neglected over the last year or so, just to be honest with you. And that's something that I want to get back to more is really taking it upon myself to be that voice for South Florida and cover the South Florida fight scene better than I have been over the last year. Right? So let this be the starting point of that. I wanted to talk about a fighter who I believe, truthfully to the core of my bones, is next up from South Florida, like a guy that I think has world championship potential, and I'm gonna get into all that. I have probably one of the only interviews out there with him that's like extended, where he's really talking, because he's not really like much of a talker, which I think is a good thing in this day and age. I actually think, with the way he is, it's a good thing, and that fighter is none other than Eric Tudor. Now, Eric Tudor, really good fighter. I mean, really good fighter. First and foremost, very fundamentally sound, has a great foundation as far as his skills, a good jab, good hand positioning, aggressive counter puncher, very good at placing shots. He's right now at this point in his career, he's 5-0. He's 5-0 with 4 knockouts. His last 2 fights have been on these like Thursday night DAZN Golden Boy shows, the Golden Boy Fight Night shows, and he's really been performing at a high level. 2 fights ago, he took on veteran fighter Dante Stubbs, and this is actually a fight where Dante Stubbs came in overweight, was very unprofessional, and he got beat up for 6. It was a 6 round. He got beat up for 6 rounds and lost every single round. Eric showed a lot of patience in that fight and boxed very well and picked up a win there. And then Dante went on to fight Troy Isley. Troy Isley stopped Dante. I think it was like in 3 or 4 rounds, but Eric had to fight him first. The next fight, Eric fought his first undefeated fighter in his career, taking on the 7-0 with 6 knockout professional Edgar Valenzuela from Mexico. And this fight, to me, so far in his career, is hands down the best performance of his career, because he fought under the lights, he fought on a Golden Boy show, he fought with TV, so that's a different challenge on its own. Secondly, he fought a guy who was undefeated, who had never lost. Edgar Valenzuela was a Mexican fighter too as well, so that's always a good test. You sometimes never know how good a fighter is until he fights another Mexican fighter, because Mexican fighters tend to be like very, very strong and determined, and they offer a lot more resistance than most fighters, just telling the truth. So it was a good test for him. Valenzuela had, like I said, was a puncher, was knocking out a lot of Mexican club fighters, and this was a step up for him. And I think Eric turned in a beautiful performance. I mean, it was just like such a mature, such a patient performance. A guy who, like Valenzuela, was long and rangy, and he could punch a little bit. But you saw Eric very patient in the high guard, pumping that jab out there. You saw him going to the body consistently. And he just has, I would say the thing about Eric is, like, Eric doesn't have, I don't think he's got the greatest power in the world. I don't think he's got the greatest speed in the world. I don't think he does like anything that would like really wow you. But what I think sticks out about Eric is, apart from his fundamentals, is something that's an intangible. It's an intangible quality, and that quality is his demeanor, his temperament. We live in a day and age in the world where a lot of people, they don't walk it like they talk it. They do a lot more talking than they do walking. And when it comes time to perform, they're very loud on Instagram. They're very loud on Twitter. The Twitter fingers are strong, but the jab ain't quite what the Twitter fingers are. this is a kid in Eric that I swear to God, he doesn't really talk. I mean, he doesn't talk. He doesn't really post a lot on Instagram. It's really hard to learn much about him, but when you listen to him talk about himself, he has this quiet confidence about himself, and this mentality that he has, it carries itself into the ring very, very well. And that's why I really feel like, you know, he's a growing fighter. He's under the watchful eye of an astute boxing mind and one of the most underrated trainers out there in the game today, and Derek Santos. Derek Santos is the guy that was responsible for turning Sullivan Barrera's career around. Derek Santos is a guy that I fully believe with in his stable right now. He's got a couple guys with world championship potential. This is one of them, along with Dominique Francis. So I think Eric also with Derek Santos, you have a trainer that kind of mirrors the mentality and the demeanor of Eric, a guy that. And Derek, who's very calm, has a you know, doesn't really get too flustered in the corner. Like, for example, in that Edgar Valenzuela fight, Eric fought a pretty much perfect fight, but there was a moment in the latter part of the first round where, you know, Eric was dominating the first round, but he got caught with a big shot and got buzzed. And then Derek just told him, like, look, you're doing a good job. Just make sure you stay switched on, because you can get caught again like that. And not only did Eric listen to Derek, Eric scored a hit Valenzuela with a liver shot and stopped him in the second round. And it was a really good performance. And like, if you've been watching these telecasts, like Bernard Hopkins, who was doing some commentary, he's talked highly of Eric Tudor. Like, it seems like every time he talks about Eric Tudor, his opinion of him gets bigger and bigger. And it's the same with me. You know, there's a lot of fighters in South Florida who sometimes I feel like get a lot more attention than Eric, because they do a lot more talking. They're on Instagram a lot more. But man, I'm gonna tell you this: the more I watch Eric fight, the more I watch how he's developing, the more I'm really beginning to believe that he may just be the next one up. You know, South Florida is a place that doesn't get the shine that it should get in boxing, because the reality is this is a place that's produced Teofimo Lopez. He learned how to box here. He was an amateur in South Florida. He got his sparring in South Florida gyms that made him the fighter he is today. You know, we produced Teofimo Lopez. We produced Xander Zayas. This is the same South Florida that produced guys like Glenn Johnson and people like that. So recently, South Florida's had some really good fighters, and you know, with him, Eric Tudor, I feel like when you look at him, you know, Dominique Francis, Lorenzo Medina, Lazaro Medina, who will be turning pro soon. You know, Eric's even got a brother named Sasha Tudor, who's very talented himself, but I'm not sure what his plans are. But he's a very, very talented fighter himself. But I really feel like Eric, he's like, he really represents the way I feel like a fighter should be. Like in this day and age where there's so much attention being put on marketing yourself, which I think it's important, but you got to know how to fight. You got to have that pack. You got to know how to get in that ring and deliver when the lights are on. And I feel like he's going to be the kind of guy that's like that. Maybe he doesn't talk a lot. It may take a lot of people time to catch on to Eric Tudor, but man, oh man, I tell you, when you guys finally catch on to Eric Tudor, he's going to become a guy that people take very seriously in this boxing game when it comes to, like, who could be the next world champion in the, you know, in the 154-pound division. You know what I'm saying? So it really, really is something to watch out for in boxing, Eric Tudor. Remember, I told you first. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take it back.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
No, follow this kid. Oh. You know, he's a true, you know, it's a young, true, passionate person who follows boxing. He wakes up thinking about boxing and he goes to sleep thinking about boxing.
This is true.
Good kid, good man, and looking forward to seeing him everywhere in the boxing world.
Hey man, if you ain't subscribed to True School Sports, you fucking up, man. Make sure you subscribe, bro.
Fucking up big time.
Make sure, man.